How to improve sleep quality, even with fewer hours, psychology explains. Imagine this. You wake up after 6 hours of sleep, groggy and irritable, wishing you had just one more hour in bed. Now, picture your friend who goes to bed the same time as you, sleeps the same amount, and wakes up feeling alert, energized, and ready to conquer the day. You scroll through articles, desperate for answers, but all you see are the same tired tips. Sleep 8 hours. Avoid caffeine. Turn off your phone. But what if I told you those rules are only part of the story? Here's the hidden truth. Your brain doesn't measure sleep in hours. It measures it in cycles, patterns, and efficiency. And most of us are unknowingly sabotaging the very thing that could make us feel alive each morning. Psychologists and neuroscientists have discovered that sleep quality often matters far more than sleep quantity. The deep, restorative stages of sleep are where your brain repairs itself, consolidates memory, and balances your emotions, yet most of us spend hours tossing and turning in superficial sleep, thinking we're rested. Even more shocking, some simple, almost counterintuitive hacks, from the way you expose your eyes to light, to tiny pre-bedtime mental routines, can make 5 or 6 hours of sleep feel like 8 or 9. Your brain is capable of adapting in ways most people never even consider. By the end of this video, you'll uncover the psychological secrets behind powerful, efficient sleep, how to hack your circadian rhythm, and why waking up energized might have little to do with staying in bed longer. So, are you ready to finally unlock the hidden mechanisms your brain uses to control rest, energy, and focus? Because tonight, everything you thought you knew about sleep might change. Think about the last time you woke up feeling completely drained. Maybe it was after lying in bed for 7 or 8 hours, scrolling through your phone or worrying about the day ahead. You tell yourself, I just need more sleep, yet the next morning it happens again. You start believing that the number of hours you sleep is the ultimate measure of rest. But psychology tells a different story, one that turns everything you thought about sleep upside down. Sleep isn't just a block of hours on a clock. It's a carefully orchestrated process, a rhythm your brain and body follow to restore energy, regulate emotions, and sharpen focus. And here's the twist, most of us are doing it wrong. We force ourselves to stay in bed, guilt ourselves over short nights, and ignore the hidden patterns our minds crave. It's like trying to charge a battery with the wrong cable. The power might be there, but it's not being delivered efficiently. Here's where it gets fascinating. Research in neuroscience and psychology shows that sleep quality matters far more than sleep quantity. You could sleep 6 hours and feel incredible, or sleep 10 and wake up exhausted, depending entirely on how your brain navigates sleep cycles, circadian rhythm, and restorative stages. The right timing, the right environment, and even the right mindset can transform your rest into a powerhouse of energy and clarity. But this isn't just about efficiency. Sleep affects your mood, decision-making, creativity, and even relationships. When you're chronically tired, you become more irritable, make poor choices, and struggle to focus on what matters. Yet the good news is that the human brain is adaptable. By understanding the hidden psychological mechanisms that regulate rest, you can hack your sleep, even with fewer hours. By the end of this video, you'll discover scientifically backed strategies that help your mind and body achieve maximum restoration in minimal time. You'll learn why your brain sometimes tricks you into feeling tired, why traditional sleep rules don't always work, and how subtle tweaks to your habits can completely change your mornings. Sleep smarter, not longer. Tonight, we begin uncovering the hidden psychology behind efficient, rejuvenating rest, and why the secret to waking up refreshed might be something your alarm clock can teach you. Meet Sarah. She's a high-achieving professional who prides herself on working late into the night, catching up on emails, and squeezing in a few episodes of her favorite show before bed. Every morning, she drags herself out of bed, yawns through her commute, and wonders why she still feels exhausted despite sleeping enough hours. Sound familiar? Sarah's story isn't unique. Millions of people struggle with the same cycle, going to bed at a reasonable hour, waking up groggy, and blaming themselves for poor sleep. Yet the truth isn't about laziness or willpower, it's about how her brain is wired. Let's imagine Sarah lying in bed tonight. The clock ticks past 11 p.m., her mind buzzing with unfinished tasks, worries, and the faint glow of her phone illuminating the dark room. She tosses and turns, trying desperately to fall asleep. In these moments, her brain isn't simply resting. It's trapped in a conflict between alertness and the body's need for recovery, a tug-of-war she doesn't even realize is happening. Now, imagine the science behind this. The brain operates on a sleep cycle, moving through light sleep, deep restorative sleep, and REM, the stage where memory consolidates and emotions reset. If Sarah's cycles are interrupted or misaligned, her body never truly reaches deep rest, no matter how many hours she spends in bed. That's why she wakes up exhausted, even after what seems like a full night. Psychologists call this the sleep efficiency problem. It's not about lying in bed longer. It's about how effectively your brain uses that time. Sleep efficiency is influenced by countless factors: stress levels, light exposure, pre-sleep routines, and even thoughts racing through the mind. In Sarah's case, scrolling on her phone and worrying about work is keeping her brain in an alert state, preventing the deep cycles her body desperately needs. Here's the real kicker: Sarah isn't doomed. Hidden within her biology are mechanisms that, if understood and guided properly, can help her feel fully rested in fewer hours. But first, she needs to confront the unseen barriers, the psychological traps and habits that are stealing her energy without her knowing it. Tonight, we'll follow Sarah's journey as she learns the secrets her brain has been keeping, discovering how subtle changes in routine, mindset, and environment can completely transform her sleep. By the end, you will see that it's not about sleeping more, it's about sleeping smarter. Sarah's journey takes a turn when she starts to uncover why her nights feel endless and her mornings unbearable. The problem isn't her schedule, or even the hours she spends in bed, it's how her brain and body interact during sleep. Psychology reveals that most of us are unknowingly sabotaging ourselves, trapped by habits and beliefs that feel harmless but actually prevent restorative rest. The first hidden culprit is the circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. It dictates when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy, controlling hormones like melatonin and cortisol. Sarah had been ignoring these signals for years, thinking staying up late was harmless. But every time she disrupted this natural rhythm, by scrolling on her phone, drinking late coffee, or forcing herself to sleep at odd hours, her brain got confused. The result? Light, fragmented sleep that left her exhausted despite seemingly adequate hours. Then there's the illusion of sleep quantity over quality. Sarah believed more hours equaled better rest. Yet research in neuroscience shows that deep sleep and REM cycles are what truly restore the mind and body. If these cycles are shortened or interrupted, the brain never completes its essential maintenance work. Even lying in bed for 9 hours, Sarah's brain might only get a fraction of what it needs, leaving her drained. Psychologists also highlight the mental sabotage of stress and pre-sleep behavior. When Sarah scrolls through emails or ruminates about the day, her sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, stays active. This prevents the parasympathetic system, responsible for relaxation, from taking over. Her body thinks it's still on alert, so even though she's physically in bed, her mind isn't truly resting. Finally, research shows that environmental cues like light, temperature, and noise influence how efficiently the brain enters restorative sleep. Sarah's room, with a glowing phone screen and warm ambient temperature, wasn't conducive to deep rest. She had been unknowingly sending signals that said, "Stay awake, stay alert." Here's the turning point. Sarah realizes that her exhaustion isn't her fault. It's her brain trying to communicate that the current habits, though seemingly normal, interfere with its natural restorative cycles. Understanding this psychological machinery gives her power, and it's the same power you can tap into tonight. By aligning her habits with her brain's natural rhythms, tweaking the environment, and learning simple mental routines, Sarah begins to see that she doesn't need more sleep. She needs smarter sleep. And that's when the real transformation begins. This is the moment Sarah has been waiting for, the revelation that changes everything. After learning about circadian rhythms, sleep cycles, and mental sabotage, she discovers the hidden truth psychologists and neuroscientists have uncovered. You don't need more hours of sleep to feel fully rested. You need better sleep efficiency. Here's the shocking part: the human brain is incredibly adaptable. With the right triggers, it can maximize deep restorative sleep and REM cycles in less time, leaving you refreshed, alert, and energized. Sarah learns that the solution isn't about lying in bed longer or forcing herself to sleep. It's about hacking the brain's natural processes. The first key is timing. By aligning sleep and wake times with her body's circadian rhythm, Sarah notices that falling asleep and waking up becomes easier, and her energy stabilizes throughout the day. This isn't a vague tip, it's biological precision. Melatonin peaks, core body temperature drops, and the brain naturally enters deep sleep, all because she respects the rhythm her body has been signaling for years. Next, Sarah experiments with pre-sleep rituals. Meditation, deep breathing, or simply putting her phone out of reach sends a psychological signal to her nervous system. It's time to rest. This quiets her mind, switches off the fight-or-flight response, and allows her parasympathetic system to take over. She begins to enter deep restorative cycles faster than ever before. Even environmental tweaks, cooler room temperature, complete darkness, and reduced noise amplify her brain's efficiency. Research shows these small adjustments can increase deep sleep by up to 20%, essentially compressing hours of rest into less time. Finally, she learns to leverage strategic naps and microsleeps. Even 20-minute power naps activate restorative processes and improve memory, focus, and mood, a secret many overworked professionals overlook. The climax? Sarah wakes up after only 6 hours, feeling vibrant, alert, and ready to take on the day. Her mornings no longer feel like a battle. She has unlocked the hidden psychology of sleep. It's not about quantity, it's about how effectively the brain uses the hours you give it. For viewers, this isn't just Sarah's story, it's a blueprint. By understanding these psychological principles, anyone can transform their nights, reclaim their energy, and live sharper, more focused lives, even with fewer hours of sleep. Sarah's transformation doesn't end the moment she wakes up refreshed. The real change comes when she reflects on how her understanding of sleep has shifted. No longer does she see herself as a victim of exhaustion or believe that more hours in bed automatically equal more energy. She understands that her brain is not lazy, it's precise, adaptive, and capable of achieving maximum restoration in minimal time when guided correctly. This realization extends beyond sleep. Sarah notices subtle improvements throughout her life. Her focus at work sharpens, her mood stabilizes, and even her interactions with friends and family become calmer and more attentive. By aligning her habits with her brain's natural rhythms, she has unlocked a powerful principle of human psychology. Efficiency often outweighs quantity. Reflecting on her journey, she understands the small, intentional changes that made the biggest difference. Following her circadian rhythm, creating a calm pre-sleep routine, optimizing her environment, and embracing strategic naps. Each tweak respects her brain's natural processes rather than fighting against them. For viewers, the lesson is clear. Better sleep isn't about lying in bed longer or feeling guilty about not enough rest. It's about understanding the hidden patterns of your mind and body and making subtle adjustments that align with them. The payoff is immense: more energy, sharper focus, and a deeper sense of well-being, all achievable even with fewer hours of sleep. Ultimately, Sarah's story shows that by listening to your brain and working with its natural processes instead of against them, anyone can experience nights of truly restorative sleep and mornings that feel brighter, calmer, and more powerful than ever before. Sleep isn't about hours on a clock, it's about how your brain and body use those hours. Sarah's journey reveals a simple truth: with the right understanding of psychology and human behavior, you can sleep smarter, not longer, and wake up energized, focused, and ready for the day. By aligning with your circadian rhythm, creating mindful pre-sleep routines, optimizing your environment, and embracing short, strategic naps, you can unlock the hidden potential of your mind's restorative powers. These aren't gimmicks, they're science-backed principles your brain responds to naturally. Tonight, when you lie down, remember, it's not the number of hours that defines your rest. It's the quality, efficiency, and alignment of those hours with your body's inner workings. If you found Sarah's story enlightening, imagine what else your mind is capable of when you understand its secrets. From mastering focus, creativity, and memory, to understanding your emotions and relationships, the hidden psychology of the brain is waiting to transform your life. So, start small. Make subtle changes tonight. And if you want to uncover more hidden patterns of the human mind, click next to learn what happens in your brain when you fall in love. Your mind is full of secrets, and it's time you discovered them.